today I'm doing a little vlog, and it's been a while since I've done any vlogging. Don't think I've vlogged since Vlogmas, but I'm wearing a very fancy t-shirt today. I am working with Sport Relief, which is so exciting. This year they're focusing on mental health, which you guys know means an awful lot to me. It's something that I've spoken about on here and on other social media platforms quite a lot. I struggle with depression and also anxiety, and so it's something that I think is really important that's spoken about more, and I'm really glad that Sport Relief are kind of honing in on it and speaking about it in a kind of broader context this year. And so today I'm going to Nottingham, which is not too far from me. I'm gonna go in the car and travel down, and I'm meeting with a charity called Community Recording Studios, and basically what they do is work with the young people in the Nottingham area to do hip opera, which is a combination of opera and hip hop, and they use kind of like spoken word and hip opera to raise awareness of mental health, which I just think is so awesome. So it's based in St Anne's, and they basically help the kind of like most deprived young people in the Nottingham area between the ages of 10 to 20, which is amazing because it affects, like, mental health affects young people so much, and it is so important that young people do feel like they have somewhere to go or somewhere that they can express themselves. And so I'm so excited to go down and see what they get up to. I think Prince Harry's actually been there before, which is quite cool. I'm not quite on par with him, but Prince Harry, if you're watching, we've been to the same place. Meghan Markle, watch out. So I'm going down today to meet some of the staff who kind of run the recording studio, and I'm also going to meet some of the young people that attend, which I'm really excited about. I think specifically I'm going to have a chat with a guy called Ashley, and I'm so excited to meet him. He's going to talk to me a little bit about his experience with mental health and how the charity's really helped him. I'm quite nervous because I've only really spoken about mental health online, and I don't really very often speak about it in public in terms of like with other people, so I am a little bit anxious about that, but it will be really nice to be in an environment that it is kind of celebrated to be open and honest about it. So yeah, let's go.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
So everybody, this is Trevor.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, the amazing founder of Community Recording Studios. Is that right?
That is right.
That is right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
The genius, I normally say, the genius behind the Community Recording Studio. Yeah.
that's probably more appropriate. Yeah. So how long ago did you?
All started. Yeah. We opened '91. We started '89.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
the year I was born. So that's like 28 years.
Yeah. I'm only 21 though, so you know what I mean. Yeah. Special secret in there, you know what I mean.
Magic
But,
ingredient.
That's right. But yeah, it was Nick, who you'll either meet or have met already.
Yeah.
I met him here at the studio, so I have no knowledge of him as a person before that. And my background was I was a breakdancer. I did a bit of touring around Europe for about 5 or 6 years. Went into street dancing, and then I just progressed naturally into wanting to do music rather than dance for music.
Right.
So we were lucky enough to be supported by a youth worker who knew of a community grant for young people and, you know, for local areas, and he applied on behalf of us because we was about 50 of us back then, because breakdancing was very influential for young kids where I was from. So we'd amassed about a group of 50 of us. So considering we just kind of decided we were stopping breakdancing, it was probably like, where are these 50 young kids going to go then? And what are they going to do?
Yeah.
But you've got to imagine, we'd toured Europe for 5 or 6 years, like performed at every international, national event, so we kind of outlived it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were
Felt like you come to the end of the journey of it.
Won a few trophies, you know what I mean?
Amazing.
Got a few phone numbers here and there, you know what I
Got your
mean?
fingers in quite a few pies then.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it was like the whole, like 50 of you
Yeah.
decided to start this.
Yeah, and then a youth worker who was a very good family friend, he was obviously in the youth service, so he was aware of the community grant.
Yeah.
He applied for it on our behalf, and all we had to do was go to a few meetings. I can remember
That's
it like
amazing.
it was like
That's
it was
like it was
yesterday.
meant to be, really, then, isn't it?
It was.
Like, what are the chances of that kind of opportunity
Happening,
falling on
yeah.
your doorstep? That's
Never.
amazing.
See, the
Or-
main thing we do is we try and give the young people confidence through expression and through either talents they have or talents that we feel that we can see in them.
Yeah.
So everything we do is meant to be like a journey, and if you start there, then by the time you get to there, you'll realise what you didn't realise in the beginning.
Yeah.
Some are naturally talented, some can act, some can sing, some can design, but some of them are just here. And if you were to go through there now and talk to
Yeah.
20 people, 6 of them would admit to being an artist. The other 14 will say, I can't sing, I can't do anything. So the idea is, hip opera is a journey because it's an expression of them doing hip hop, which is a word they relate to in a simple way.
Yeah.
They sing, they dance, they act, and if they can't, they produce, they organise, they write. So there's so many different elements that really create that one aspect.
Right.
Whereas if you did just a tune, it'd be, I don't sing, so I can't do it.
But yeah.
Whereas in a hip opera, you can just be someone's mate, but in the play, you can be the person who just sits there and just kind of just goes. And that's part of
That's
acting.
part of it, yeah.
because-
So what is, for people that might not know, because I don't, to be honest,
Yeah.
haven't really like heard much about it in
Yeah.
terms of how would you explain hip opera then?
I would explain it as it's a form of expression, and it's something that you can put on the stage or you can film. But the basis is hip hop as a formula, which is a way that we express ourselves in dance, music, poetry. But it adds the element of acting, improvisation, because a lot of the acting that we do, we've based it upon. Say one of the ones we've done before, you would say, okay, where do we all hang out? Barbershop. Everyone gets to get that trim. So at the barbershop, what do? Everyone gets their hair cut, but the barber talks forever.
Yeah.
And then you hear, oh, have you heard about what at number 29? And you hear all the conversations about everyone in the community at the barbershop. So when we wanted to make the first one, we did it about the barbershop.
Yeah.
So the idea is when you're in the barbershop, when you're really in a rush to get a haircut, it can never be. Either Liverpool's lost, or Arsenal's winning, or so-and-so's team manager, and you're thinking, you know, can I just get a short apple side trim in a line? So we based it upon that, and then the journey that goes through the life of a barbershop, which is really interesting.
Amazing. Yeah, that is really interesting, because
Yeah.
you think, in a weird way, I think my hairdresser is probably one of the persons that I'm like most personal with.
Do you see?
Because you just talk about everything, don't you? And it's like they're kind of like a little secret keeper.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the experience in itself is endless, because you can go from the shopping you forgot to what you did or didn't do in your relationship to what you want to achieve in life. They could say, you know what? And before you know it, your barber's telling you what you do at university. And you're like, yeah, you know what? After I get the trim, I'm going to go get the perspectives. I'm going to sign up for that 4-year course, which you wasn't going to do before you sat in the barber chair.
That's amazing, because as well, for people who I guess are lacking in confidence or self-belief, they've got so many different pockets they can fall into.
Yes, and you don't have to be an actor or actress. You don't have to be somebody who clearly defines yourself as something.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone to fit in, and there's even room for you to be yourself in it.
Yeah.
Which means you could still be the shy person, deep thinking in the hip opera.
But you're putting yourself in front of people.
And then when you put together 20, 30, 40, 50 young people together, it's a mad amount of energy. It takes a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of structuring, but we do bring in some professionals to help, like some theatre directors who can kind of like, you know, I think you should leave that as the main, that should be your starting, and then along the way you can make the music for it, so them who can sing or them who want to try it can do it, and you know, it's a journey, and when you get it to that final stage where you perform it or you film it and you look back, you do kind of feel like, you know what I mean, I'm part of it.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
and it's great because we have a lot of kids who come in here, sit down, chill, as we always, as I said, and vibe. But it'd be a shame to think of 2-3 years passing and you think, what did we manage to do with the young people? We support them, we give them somewhere to hang out, we give them something to come into and be a part of.
Yeah.
But this is something that they can use, you know, as a great tool, or, oh, you know what, I did this.
Yeah.
And when you look at it as a composition, parents, grandparents, schools are like, wow, like, you know, like, yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's
love it.
genius, really. You know,
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty genius, isn't it?
Genius, she does it.
Ashley, and you've been coming here since you were 8, is that
Yes.
right? Yeah, that's amazing. So how old are you now?
20.
Oh my
So
god, that's
that's
such a
like,
long
12
time.
years in total.
Wow. And do you enjoy it? You must
Yeah.
do if you stayed around for this
Yeah.
long. Yeah. So how have you kind of been involved in hip opera?
Well, I helped at the initial stages because obviously with the funding and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you were part of that?
The interviewing and stuff like that, the interview
Oh.
stage. And then obviously I'm helping with the like writing of the script as well.
Yeah.
Heavily involved in that, and then obviously I think I'm going to be performing in it as well.
Are you?
I'm just like,
have you performed before?
not necessarily in that
Like with
capacity.
these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be new, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah. What do you think you might be performing?
I don't know what role I want. I want to play a role that requires like maybe some like where I can
Just like dipping your toe in a little bit,
yeah,
not too
like,
much.
just to experience it.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be so heavily involved of kind of like bringing it together, it might
Yeah.
be quite nice
Yeah.
to like show your face a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So, how do you feel like this kind of community environment has helped you with how you feel? Because I've shared my kind of experiences online with like depression and anxiety,
Yeah.
and how I've kind of struggled with that through my 20s really. And I found that having like a community of people, even online, so not even kind of like in real life,
Yeah.
has been such a comfort for like feeling less alone. Because I
Yeah.
think one of the main things I find with depression is that it feels really isolating, and
Yeah, like it feels like it limits like your capability or ability to like express certain things.
yeah.
So when you're in like a group environment like in here and we've got team building exercises, it develops a
Yeah.
confidence and it helps you bond with other people. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's harder to like initiate like trust with people and stuff to
Definitely.
discuss certain things that maybe it's more beneficial if you do discuss sometimes,
Yeah.
because it makes me feel like a bit more like relaxed about the way I'm feeling sometimes, like, and it also helps to like develop confidence and stuff like that.
Do you think it helps with outside of here? So with like
Yeah.
the wider
There's
world?
transferable skills, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because like I think like once you start, it's like practice makes perfect, they
Yeah.
say. So once you try and start doing something and you grow in a certain way, that growth stays with you.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So when you were kind of like 8 years old and you were here, how
Yeah.
were you involved then? That's like crazy to me that
do you
you were
know-
doing this kind of stuff when you were 8. I was literally just like watching TV and being rubbish at life. Like that's incredible.
When I first engaged with here, it was through school,
Yeah.
and I think my behaviours were a bit like, I don't know if they're necessarily easy to deal with, because I think I was quite challenged with the way I presented myself, like socially. And there would be like trips for young people in that kind of circumstance where they'd go out and engage and do different activities and stuff. And this is one of the places that we were taken. And so this is like, yeah, it was kind of like
Organic kind of
yeah.
way to come about meeting people.
It was like a coincidence, but like
Yeah.
a coincidence.
And so you've been with like Trevor from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you have a really good relationship with him.
Yeah, he tells me stories about when I was younger. And it
Oh,
makes-
really?
Yeah, it makes me laugh sometimes because I don't remember some of them, and I'm like, oh, okay, I did that. Okay.
What kind of stories does he tell you?
One time, when I was 8, when I was first like initially coming here, I think I tried to climb on the roof, and he had me with like stop me from climbing on the roof, and he was on the phone to the teacher at the same time. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, you know.
So would you come here like during school time and stuff? Like how
yeah.
did that work?
Yeah, it's like, you know, I don't want to describe it this way, but challenging behaviour. Sometimes I take them out to kind of, I don't know, help them
integrate you in a different
yeah,
way.
in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the kind of the way they assessed it, and I feel like it did work. But
Yeah. And so what do you feel like you've gained most from here? Like in terms of anxiety, depression, like it's such a difficult thing to manage, and I imagine having something to like channel your energy into has been a really positive thing.
Yeah, it has been a positive
Yeah.
thing, and you know, sometimes even excluding from addressing the issue, sometimes it's nice to have something that is irrelevant from the issues you're feeling. Sometimes for you to feel kind of, okay, I've got these things,
somewhere
but
to escape to.
I'm more than just those things. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
escapism, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you're doing that, you're learning things and getting skills, and yeah, it's like it's strange because you don't expect it to kind of pan out that way, but then that's the way it kind of heals you slightly, if that makes sense.
Well, because there's no like cure, is there? There's nobody that's sitting there being like, this is what you need to do and you're not going to struggle anymore. Like, that doesn't exist. So when you look at something like this, you might not think it's going to solve all your problems, and it's not going to solve all your problems, is it? But it can give you ways and tools to kind of cope with life a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I love that. Anything that you could say to the world about how you feel or what you've gained from this experience, or anything about?
You know what? With anxiety and depression, the way I experienced it, after coming out to a point where I feel a bit more normalised in the sense, not normalised in the sense of normal, but normalised in the sense of being able to cope.
Yes.
I found that looking back, sometimes what I thought was bad for me wasn't necessarily bad for me, in a sense, like, talking about things, I'd feel like, I shouldn't do that. But then actually doing that helped. Like, it was like my perception of what was going to help me and what wasn't going to help me was a bit distorted by the way I felt. Yeah.
Well, because you don't feel like anybody's going to understand, or like people are going to, like, you're going to burden people if you're like spilling all of your emotional feelings. Everywhere.
It's like
Well, to be honest, you sound so together and amazing. Like, the way, like, you're so confident, and like, that's incredible to think that you weren't able to express yourself in that way before.
Yeah, it's like I used to, like, what I described it as like a mask, or like a front, or a coping mechanism. So I don't feel like I have to do that anymore.
That's
like,
really
I'm slowly, as time progressed, slowly becoming, I don't call it growing up, I say growing in.
Oh, I love that. Growing into yourself.
Yeah,
that's really amazing. And for 20 years old, you're 20, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've really got your head on your shoulders, and like, it sounds like you've worked really hard on yourself, which is the most important thing. I'm so glad that you found something that like works for you and makes you feel kind of like part of a community in a space, because you've got so much to give. It's amazing. And you're gonna like write this script for the show. That's
because,
just incredible.
Because obviously, like, raising, the key point that I really want to get across is actually raising awareness. So I'm thinking about all the logistics of it and thinking, okay, well, if you do this character and that character, that can represent this larger portion of like mental health issues, and really get the imagery across, not from a standpoint of what you've seen, but of what you feel. So it's like, really, I'm excited about that.
How are you going to do that? Have you got any examples that you could share that?
Well, for instance, I don't know, like, initially we had the idea of just having one person with like a mental health issue.
Right.
But then we're thinking about catering for like a plethora of different types and interactions of mental health. So
because it's not just
people,
one fits all.
More than one person, but then some of them could have multiple diagnoses. So that way we'd be able to portray that actually mental health is not just having this one issue. Some people can have 2 issues or 3 issues, etc. So kind of broadening people's understanding, because a lot of people just associate mental health, they've got this one thing wrong with them, but then a lot of them, some things are coupled and some things are Well, because you can't see it as well, can you? Like, that's the thing. And we're also trying to like portray it in a subtle way, but then obviously enough for the audience to see. So we're kind of trying to find that kind of balance.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see it. It sounds amazing. Yay! Oh, thank you so much, Ashley. I really appreciate it. So what is your favourite thing about coming here? Anybody?
Well, probably, I'd guess maybe, I'm guessing are we recording now?
Yes.
Cool. I'm guessing not guessing, I'd say probably the sense of like sort of community. And that because you've been here for like a long amount of time, you kind of all get to know each other really well, and you can kind of have a little gossip, have a little laugh. It's just like a little family.
Got a good sense of community here. You can really see that even from just being here for 5 minutes, like how you all just get on so well.
I think for me, it's that there's such access to the instruments that we've got here. And there's access to a free community studio.
Which is rare, actually, isn't it? Like, where else can you go and just sing or perform or do whatever?
And there's so many different opportunities that comes out of working with CSR, and it's amazing.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Do you have anything that like?
It just helps in like every respect with me. Like literally, it's come from like when I first came here, it was like I just needed to socialise more because I didn't have like loads of friends and stuff like that. I was quite at home like when I was younger, and then so I kind of like made this like my second home sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they've helped housing, they've helped with my performance, they've got me scholarships, they've given me a place to record, somewhere to write.
It's
and
amazing.
Motivation,
yeah.
And stuff, so,
well, because I think with like performance especially, it can be so difficult to feel like you've got a stepping stone to like where is the platform for you to be able to express yourself and like put your work out there. I think it's amazing that you guys have got that. Like, it's incredible.
It gives you like those confidence as well.
Yeah. Ashley was saying how it's like just given him so much more confidence in himself to.
We was both really sharp when we first came in. Now
Yeah. Well, you still got to perform.
Oh god.
Only if you want to. I'm only joking. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
It's alright.
So I'm here today on behalf of Sport Relief.
Yeah.
And I think kind of what I wanted to ask you was, what's the main benefit that you've had from working with Sport Relief?
Really, the belief, the respect, the kind of environment change for young people to be able to do a lot more than they could actually imagine. And I don't know, it's not simple to show it, it's just great when you see what really we bring to you back from what we've got.
Yeah.
And it's a big step, you know what I'm saying? It's something simple, it's kind of something little, it's an idea on a piece of paper, and then it's a massive platform, performance, it's confidence, it's strength, it's someone giving them respect for what they truly want to try and do. And that's a big thing for young people.
Yeah, massively. And so Sport Relief have kind of given you the ability to be able to do that.
That's right, that's right.
That's amazing.
It's all good.
Trying to figure out which one. Be prepared. Lit equals MC squared. Easy as easy. Repeat, but don't want to be seen. You can't compare reasons. I don't need them. I just like the boss to the talking. If I force them, they get lost in a force form. But the four apocalyptic horses, but I'm quick walking in coffins and toss them out to my source. And now it all goes to hell. If I harvest the hearts of narcissists and put them all in Tartarus for marvel at the covers of a drama that's message rich. Archers of the Ark of the Covenant. Armageddon being part of the wedding. Get it? Usually it's like truly in unity, sooner be done. Buffoonery, who wouldn't be coonery, used to be fun. Only in a circuitously abnegated place, this world's an abattoir, and evidently I'm aberrant. Something the average Cabbage Patch Kid will always abhor. Poor his minds and nauseous, life is lifeless. These typeless generations typing their lives away. Barbarous puppets casting their mask, matching their eyes and face. Facades evoking omnipotent, social potent time and space. But what that means, petite for beast content with leaving streets, deafened by speaking speech. Frequently seeking to keep the peace now. You're just discursive like a perfectly imperfect, searching for certainty, serpent. Please stop with all the iniquitous deeds. These are all just perverses, verses worse than a cursive curse. Mark a Roshi Padrubi with the Kamehameha wave. Had to save the games or put any MC that I want to lay away. I do this on a day to day, and today I just gave you a little taste.
Wow. Actually, you didn't tell me you could sing.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise.
And you didn't tell me you can play like all of the instruments. Oh, you guys.
Aren't you something to admire? 'Cause your shine is something like a mirror, and I can't help but stare, 'cause I see truth somewhere in your eyes. I can't ever change without you. You reflect me, I love that about you. And if I could, I would look at us all the time. Yeah. 'Cause with your hand in my hand and a pocket full of snow, I can tell you there's no place we couldn't go. Just put your hand on the glass, I'll be trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. This vacancy inside in my heart is a space, but now you're home. Show me how to fight for now. And I tell you, baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here all along. It's like you're my mirror, running and staring back at me. Couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside me. Now it's clear that we're making two reflections into one. 'Cause it's like you're my mirror, and staring back.
Yay! Closing call?
You know, like when you read a story and the start links to
Conclusion.
No, it's like there's a word for it. There's a word for it. Like my brain.
Exit.
Well, we were trying to be authentic about saying goodbye, but Ashley's decided to give a running commentary about what a hello and a goodbye is.
In conjunction with
Now
each
I'm
other.
gonna say
In
bye.
conjunction with one another. We still haven't come to a conclusion. But this is the conclusion, to say goodbye, right? Thank you so much for speaking to me.
It's nice.
I really appreciate it. And good luck for the show.
Thank you.
Aren't you something to admire? 'Cause you shine is something like a mirror, and I can't help but stare, 'cause I see truth somewhere in your eyes. I can't ever change without you. You reflect me, I love that about you. And if I could, I would look at us all the time.
So I've just got home. Rue is having her dinner. And I just wanted to say that I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It's something totally different for my channel. I know I've spoken about mental health quite a lot, but it was so amazing for Sport Relief to invite me along and see what this amazing charity do for young people, because God, there's just, it sometimes feels like there's just not enough out there. I'm really sorry if you can hear Rue eating. It just sometimes feels that there's really not enough out there for support for young people, and having the community recording studio is insane. To see how far Ashley's come and all of the other people that attend there, they were all so lovely and so talented, and I just feel so lucky that I've been able to go and see that. Like, I felt really emotional being there, because I was like, it's just such a wonderful thing they're doing. And CRS is funded equally by Sport Relief and the I Will Fund, hashtag I Will Fund. And I'm just so glad that they're putting their efforts into supporting a charity like that, because I think it really does make a difference. And I hope that you guys have been able to get more of an insight into what kind of things Sport Relief do, because I think sometimes you just don't really know where your money's going when you're donating for things like Comic Relief and Sport Relief and stuff, and it is going to places like that and to people like Ashley, and oh, I love it so much, and I'm so grateful that I've had that experience. And I will link everything below so you can find out more about CRS, you can find out more about Sport Relief. Like, the opportunities those kids have had off the back of the funding is just unreal. And if you want to donate, please do. You can buy a t-shirt, they're £10 I think, and £5 will go to charity, and or you can donate other ways, like however much you want to give would be amazing. And it's really given me more of an insight into what goes on and I'm just so grateful to have been, and thank you Sport Relief for having me. Rue's going mental in the corner. I'm going to sign this off now, because otherwise I think it's going to be the longest vlog in the history of vlogs, and I will see you soon, guys. Bye.